another company that just recently, by the way, went through a beautiful rebranding, but a company we invested in quite some time ago. And that is Catawiki, hailing from Netherlands. I think we have Fred there. Hi, can you see us and hear us?
I can, yes.
Awesome. Thanks very much. It's great to have you here. I think the Catawiki story is a super fascinating one. I don't know how much you can share, but also for you guys, 2020 and 2019 have been fantastic. I don't want to spoil, of course, spoiler here what an amazing job you have been doing. But we're looking forward to hearing a bit from you about Catawiki, about the journey. You have 7 minutes roughly. When I reappear, it's kind of the beginning of the end.
Great.
With that, over to you.
Thanks, Uwe. Let me share my screen. Hopefully that will work. Let's see.
Yeah, that works. Oh, no. Sorry.
You guys can see it?
Yeah, we see it. Yeah.
Great. And I'm not sure. I don't think I can see you guys now. Oh, can I? Yes. Let me try and make it. Sorry, it's a new tool I have to get used to. You can see it? You guys can see it?
Yeah, we can hear and see you. So now we see the screen and the deck. So that's perfect.
Great. All right. Well, Uwe, thanks very much for having me. Big pleasure, of course, at this conference. I've got a couple of minutes that I've prepared a couple of slides for. Just to introduce Catawiki, one of the portfolio companies of Project A, of course. You guys have been with us for about 6 years now, I think. Quick overview of what we do and a couple of interesting learnings on the way. First of all, Catawiki, as some of you may not know or do know, is Europe's largest curated marketplace for various categories, including collectibles, art, design, jewelry, watches, classic cars, and more. We have about 200 in-house experts, curators, who carefully select hundreds of thousands of objects each week that are being submitted by our seller community. And we offer those objects up to our buyer audience, which is now roughly 10 million uniques a month. We have about 500 employees from 50 nationalities. We operate in 29 categories across 17 languages. And in Q2, we did about 125 million in GMV. So that's just a brief introduction of Catawiki. What really sets ourselves apart from anyone else is that we combine three unique benefits. We're at the middle of these three benefits here. One is curation at the top. So each of the objects that is being submitted by our sellers is carefully curated, approved, and reviewed, and if needed, also rejected. At the same time, it's also accessible because each object the bidding for each object, because we offer an auction model, starts at €1. And last but not least, on the bottom right, it's unique. So each object is special with a story behind it. So we're at the middle of this triangle, and a lot of the competition is not able to provide these three unique benefits at the same time. If you look at, for instance, offline auction houses like Christie's and Sotheby's, they are much more related towards curation and uniqueness. They are not accessible. They're not for the general public. And classified businesses like eBay or Marktplaats are much more focused on accessibility. So we believe that we are quite unique in the fact that we are able to offer these three benefits. Just a brief overview of how it works. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but the main message here is that we've tried to create a very simple and intuitive business model, which at the same time is fully managed end to end, but also completely online. So we have the ability to scale rapidly because we don't require warehouses. We don't have inventory of the objects. So that means we can scale rapidly. But at the same time, it is indeed an end-to-end ownership of the transaction that we have. The total take rate for us, the net revenue, is about 18%. So for every €100 in GMV that we auction on our platform, we take home about 18%. That business model and that uniqueness that I talked about earlier has enabled Catawiki over the past couple of years to scale up rapidly across 4 verticals. We started off when we started as Catawiki in the blue, which is the collectibles business, And very early on, and that was also the moment when Project A, we welcomed Project A as an investor. We started to ramp up and launch new categories like art and antiques, luxury, and mobility. And as you can see today, collectibles is still a big part of our business, but only roughly 20% or so. The remaining categories are really where a lot of the growth has been coming from. So this is obviously a very exciting couple of years for us because we've been able to scale up rapidly as a business. And whilst we've been able to grow rapidly, the top line, we have also been able to develop a playbook for profitable growth. So this has been the key focus in the past 2.5 years. If you go back a couple of years before, we really focused on top line growth, right? We really focused on growth at all costs. That was also the mandate back then. We wanted to sort of gain market share in our core categories and geographies. And about 2.5 years ago, we started to focus on sustainable growth and really developed that playbook to be able to not just grow top line, but also bottom line. And this is sort of the evolution in our financials over time here. Obviously, Corona, the COVID pandemic has had, fortunately for Catawiki, a positive impact on the business. We've really started to see our growth accelerate. And really because, the whole offline to online transition, which was already taking place in the special objects space, has really accelerated because of the pandemic. So we are really sort of doubling down on making sure that we can assist our buyers and sellers in moving online successfully. And that's one of the reasons why we've been investing heavily in the past 6 months in hiring more curators, hiring more account managers, doing more marketing, etc. And that playbook that we've now developed, so we talked about the phases, the growth at all cost phase, where we really wanted to gain market share. And then about 2.5 years ago, focusing more towards sustainable growth. And that playbook we're now really trying to execute on relentlessly. So with about 500 of us, we're really trying to focus on that really aggressively every day. We've rolled out the playbook successfully now in the Benelux. These are our home markets. This is where we started as a business. That's the left-hand side of this chart here. And in the past 2 years, we started to roll out the playbook in Italy and France. And because we've started to roll out that playbook there, you can see that the growth is most aggressive in those two markets. So that's sort of a proof point for why we think our playbook is now sort of scalable and working. And what is very exciting for us is that we've identified Germany as the next frontier for Catawiki. We do already have a bit of presence in Germany, but in 2021, we're going to really start laying the foundations for making Germany our next big frontier. And we're going to be rolling out the playbook in Germany from next year onwards, which means hiring about 35 people on the ground next year in Germany, including curators and stuff. And of course, starting to do a lot of marketing activities there, etc. So that's a very exciting moment for us, of course, and obviously for Project A as well. And I can't see you. Oh, now I can. Yeah. And my last slide is.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and this is my final slide. I just wanted to let everyone who is attending this conference know that we are aggressively hiring right now. So if you're out there and thinking to switch jobs or looking for a new challenge, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn or reach out to Project A. They can link to me or go to our jobs page, because there's a lot of cool stuff happening at Catawiki, and we'd love to get in touch.
Thanks so much, Fred. Also, one of the few pictures really shows some interesting numbers. We're very happy also that we'll get stuff on flying even more on the German market. But thanks very much for hard work that you and the team have done in the past years, and for the great presentation.
Of course. Thanks, guys. Good luck.